Hi, it's 𝘊𝘬𝘳𝘪. I'm the clinical director and principal psychologist of a therapy spot here at Palm Beach on the beautiful Gold Coast. How are you doing today? I've been challenged to look at the middle of the screen because last week I was leaning. So this week I'm going to try and stay in the middle. So you please know that I'm actually talking to you and you are my focus. There's no one else in the room that I'm talking to. It's just you guys. Today I want to talk about care. So the second pillar of what I believe will to help you develop resilience to make it through COVID-19 and all the other interesting things that are about and happening in our world at the moment. I think that might be all I want to say around the events that are happening in our world at the moment. So the importance, last time I spoke to you guys, I talked about self-compassion, and self-compassion is about the way that we, one, treat ourselves and the way that we speak to ourselves in our normal everyday interactions and the difference that can make into how well we cope and function. So this week, I want to talk about how you're caring for yourself, and that partially comes into a few different factors. So I talked about caring for your vehicle, and that vehicle is you, the body that moves, the body that we have, and the body that we inhabit. How we treat it is going to make a difference as to how well we cope. So some of this stuff is important. You know, you probably may know it, but I'm going to remind you. So I want you to move your body. So do some exercise of some sort, at least 3 to 5 times a week. Half an hour, go for a walk. You can get up and do some jumping jacks. You can enroll in many of the many online, what are they? Fitness programs. You know, I keep telling my clients that 𝘠𝘰𝘶𝘳 has an online program that you can follow along with, or you can go for some of the other different ones. Chris Hemsworth, I think it says 6 weeks. You can have 6 weeks for free. The other thing that you need to do for your body is rest your body. Give yourself permission to turn off from social media and put it down. The other thing I think right at the moment that's important is that we turn off from the news, that we don't flood ourselves with the things that are occurring. You pay attention, you make a set time where you'll pay attention, like you might read the news for 15 minutes in the morning and then you don't look at it for the rest of the day. If anything happens, if there's a world war, you'll certainly hear about it, but you don't need to read and process and spend all your time doing that sort of stuff, because it will traumatize you, particularly if you're anxious. It'll make you worry. You don't need to keep exposing yourself. You can put it down. So sleep is the other thing I want you to kind of start thinking about. How much sleep am I allowing myself to have? Switching off at the end of the day, turning your computers off, spending some time unwinding, and then going to bed at a reasonable time. Actually allowing yourself to go to bed. Don't go to bed at midnight. I think I was talking to one of my clients today, and she'd been going to bed at 3 o'clock because she didn't have a plan. She didn't have anything she was too worried about. So she'd go to bed at 3 and she'd wake up at 11 during isolation. And she's struggling now to get back into routine. The problem is when you stay up till those times, like when you're in the house by yourself and everyone else is in bed, like your kids might be in bed or your partner, you don't use that time productively. You kind of walk around feeling a bit guilty. So the times when you are awake, you're not exercising, you're not moving, you're not thinking, you're just kind of padding around feeling like you're on borrowed time. So try and sleep within normal routines and normal hours, and allow yourself 8 hours where that's your time where you rest. It's not your time where you go through a screen or you do your emails or you read Facebook or you read the news. It's just downtime. You could read a book. You could look at the stars. Do things to give your mind a break. The last tip I kind of want to give you today is about how are you feeding your body. So think about the fuel that you're putting in your vehicle, this beautiful vehicle that's our bodies, and think about which ones are going to make it feel better and which ones aren't. I think as the new month has started, I've kind of stopped and gone, all right, it's time for me to start treating my body better and to give it better fuel. So we're making soups and eating more nutritious foods rather than, you know, cooking cakes, which we could do when we were home during isolation. But that was fun initially, but when you eat that way all the time, your body doesn't like it. The other thing I want you to do is start paying attention to what your body's telling you. If it tells you it's tired, you know, stop what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, you can finish on another time. Rest, stop, stretch, be good. Consider having a checkup with your doctor. When was the last time you had a checkup? Have you had a blood test in the last 12 months? Women in particular are often low in iron, and you don't find that out if you don't go and have a check with your doctor. If you're low in iron, your fatigue levels are higher, everything's harder. It's certainly something that's worth checking and being aware of. It's just good health. So that's where I kind of want to check in on you guys today. Let's think about how we're treating the vehicle, how we're treating the body that we're walking around in. The better we treat it, the better we're going to come through, and the more likely we are to develop resilience. So care for yourself and care for those sorts of things. I will check in and give you a little bit more around this next time. Have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye.